Hey, buddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome back to Civilization 6, my first and only love. Don't let my wife hear me say that. That's right, you've been watching Potato McWhiskey videos so long that he ended up getting married. Now, where we currently stand, we're in the middle of building up our infrastructure to prepare for our win condition. And honestly, our win condition this game is to enact revenge upon Georgia for stealing Feed the World. And so to that end, we're kind of working on education because we're making our way towards mass production. Getting the extra production from shipyards is going to be incredibly important for us being able to build a late game military. I think our main goal in this episode is to make sure we get our trade route networks online, to get our last few holy sites online, and to secure, trade routes, holy sites, and to secure a potential deeper foothold on this continent, depending on where we think Georgia is. Because I don't see them here, unless this is Georgia. No, that's the Inca. We'll have to do a search around. We may have to go for cartography and get some caravels to do some exploring to find out where they are. Now, I do see some Mayan Christian missionaries or Catholic missionaries on the way over. We completed our first harbor with 4 gold or higher, which is awesome. So we may want to get ourselves a couple of inquisitors. I don't care if Tombos gets converted, but I definitely don't want this city of El Kuru to get converted, so I might just park a missionary or two in there. We got the harbour in Nubia. It has a really high adjacency. We definitely want the lighthouse. We have placed the encampment to lock in its price. We want the lighthouse to get the extra trade route. Trade routes are king. I believe all the shopping that makes sense to do in this city is done. We should probably consider moving... well, I suppose if we take this, we'll complete the mausoleum in 24 turns if we were to chop it. Improve this, build that, let me faith... I can't faith purchase a builder, that's fine. We'll just improve these tiles. You'll go there and we'll buy that tile in order to chop to finish the consulate. We finished all of the buildings in here, so let's just crack out a builder while we can. And we're just kind of throwing down a few farms to make this a nicer location to live. I might buy this jungle tile in Moreau as well for the purpose. Technically, it would be cheaper for me to buy this in Shat, so I'll buy it in Shat and then I will switch it to Moreau for the chop. We'll just chop out that builder. And then we give Shat back that nice production tile. And I think if we want to chop this, I think we just move Magnus to Sedanga now in preparation of using up the chops that are there. Okay, let's have a look. So we got our builder in the capital. There's not really much else that we could build. Let me double check my quests. Build a campus. We would need the city to grow a little bit more. And the city doesn't have a huge amount of high food tiles. We could, in theory, I suppose we do need to repair this. Yeah, I'm just trying to have a little bit of a think here. I think placing down a few farms for this city will actually make sense to helping it grow, because we would like to get it to 10 population so that we can place down another district. We may as well build builders in here because that will allow us to use faith to protect our religion. So we're going to reconvert here and grab ourselves a second missionary to be able to defend El Kuru's religion here. Sedanga has finished the granary. I think we'll put a couple turns into the shrine, but I think the actual goal is going to be to harvest this wheat to pump up the population so we can plant a district, the harbor. I'm going to send my galley over to Kerma in preparation of becoming a caravel and going to explore the world. I did have another galley somewhere there, and I'm going to send this one over to Sedanga for the same purpose but in a different direction. So special congress, there's an aid request, patch a cutie. We may as well vote that up because this is a great way for us to get diplomatic victory points, plus the AI tends to hurt their economy by feeding resources into one another AI who doesn't use them as efficiently. We got the lighthouse in Napata. That is in theory a purchase of a trader. We could hard build the trader in 3 turns, which is not terrible, and we do need the trader in here to feed this city because the city is actually struggling with food. It won't once it has all these coastal tiles. All right, let's have a little bit of a gander here. Yeah, we're not really finding much. We'll convert you back again. I'm building all these juicy floodplains. Makes me very happy to have this big farm network. So I definitely want my capital city to grow, which is why I'm locking in these 3 high food tiles. In 2 turns it'll grow, so we'll kind of come back to that later. Anchor Watt has been built by another player. There's civil service, so we can get retainers now, and I do think retainers is worth plugging in, although we just don't have the room in our government for it, because we already have 3 really good cards that we don't want to change. You could maybe make an argument that urban planning is obsolete. I would argue that it's not. It's a question of, let me do a review of our amenities situation. In theory, +1 amenities in all our cities would actually make a difference here. I wonder, maybe I could just purchase some luxuries. Give me those luxuries. And now we're just as happy as we were before. Let's see, 3 + 3 + 3 + 3. Nobody's at like +4, so I don't think +1 amenity is going to do the job. They would need to be +2 amenities to get us to +5, I believe you need. Wait, hold on. How does amenities sources? How does happiness work again? Hold on. Happiness, click. A city will not have any modifier, but a happy city. Happiness measures the contentment of your population. I don't remember how happiness works. What is an ecstatic? What is the requirement for ecstatic? I forget. Is it 4 or 5? Well, there's actually a very easy way for us to test this. If we just plug in retainers. It's 5. Got it. Not a problem. Let me think about it. There are other ways to get amenities. It would be good for us to get... I think we can still buy scouts real cheap. That's worth +1 amenity. Now, I'm trying to remember what card we wanted to go for. I wouldn't mind that envoy. Theocracy is pretty good. It could be the good follow-up here. Might be good for us to get more governor titles. I'll go for guilds because I'm definitely not getting 2 markets, but I might be able to get 4 trade routes for medieval fairs. And guilds does lead to Reformed Church. So I'll go guilds into Divine Right, into Reformed Church. I'll have a little scoot around. All right, let's break this wheat while we prepare for builders to chop out growth in Sedanga. So we're going to harvest this resource. That'll get us to about 5 population. We'll be 1 food away from 5 pop. That means we can chop out the harbor. Do you want the harbor on the left side or the right side? If we put it on the right side, we could put a district here to bring it up to a +4 harbor, which isn't bad. So I will put it on the right side. I am going to chop the harbor as a preference. That's 3 turns away now. Excellent. Zip down here with a couple builders to make a difference. Yeah, there's really not a reason not to just keep building builders. They're an incredibly useful resource, and so I will continue making them. You're now able to create and maintain more trade routes. That's excellent. I want to trade with Moreau from here because that's a 4 food. 4 food, 3 production. So yeah, that nice internal trade route is worth 4 food, 3 production. That's beautiful. We will take that. That's a good SimCity bonus. We got our lighthouse in here. I'm going to quickly just faith purchase that trader. And the Gurdwara is sickeningly good, but I would like to get my encampment up sooner rather than later, so we'll hold off. Napata, it would be great if we got the Gurdwara because that would allow us to continue to grow. The city does struggle a little bit for food. That's why we went for the Gurdwara, honestly. Shat got its scout, and actually speaking of which, we should probably get scouts in any cities that don't have a garrison, because scouts are incredibly efficient garrisons. We do have our holy site in Shat. The city does struggle a little bit for production, although somehow we're getting a lot of production thanks to like the holy site and all that sort of stuff, and the fact that we shared a few tiles with it. We could go straight for this harbor, and it is a +2 harbor, which isn't terrible. We'll grab that. We want those trade routes. Get our SimCity going. We're feeding the crusade, as is the mission. There's a missionary kind of angling towards Nuri, so I'm going to get my own missionary here just to protect. I'm being lazy. I could start a Inquisition. I'm going to harvest here to finish this, and then we'll chop through to the lighthouse, which is perfect. And then we'll just slam down a few farms here just to improve the overall yield of the general tile area. Okay, progress towards mercenaries has advanced considerably. Somehow we became suzerain of Akkad. I didn't even notice that. I have a horseman over here that I'm going to use to explore Mayan Empire. Oh, looks like we found Georgia, and public enemy number 1 is actually to our west. Now, Georgia's stats, if we take a look here, they're at 79 science, 71 culture. On the tech tree, they're only a smidge ahead of us and a smidge ahead of us here. So it should be relatively easy for us to kill them. Now, I believe Nuri already has a trade route with the capital. So I think redirecting this trade route to, for example, Shat is the right play. We get all those delicious internals going. Somebody built Alhambra. Education is ready. We're not going to get a Golden Age. We're going to be getting a Dark Age here, it looks like. We finished another builder in the capital. I mean, is there any reason not to just keep getting builders while the age, like while we still benefit from them? There's nothing else really we can build in the capital. I mean, it would be a very interesting decision to do some settling. Like, there's actually a really nice city right here. 1, 2, 3. It sounds unhinged, but it does get us this amber resource. So if we were to park a city right here, there's a pretty damn good holy site right there. In terms of harbor, probably harbor right there. And then eventually, if you want a campus, well, you could do this kind of a setup. And that starts to look like not an unhinged city. Cost me a little bit of faith to buy a settler. We will buy a settler to do that. I think that actually sounds kind of fun. Eking out an extra city or two where we can get away with it is always very nice. Right, we've got a scout in there. Anywhere else missing scouts? We'll probably want to queue up a scout in here. We'll want to queue up a scout in here as well. And probably in here. We've got a few scouts to get to act as garrisons. We do have one ecstatic city, which is really nice. Actually, no luxuries to sell. Or to buy, rather. Any horse/iron enjoyers? There are a few. So this aid request, basically we just send like 1 GPT to him. That guarantees us non-zero score. And then we can think about how else we want to try to earn score. You have Kilwa? You son... Oh no, you're working on Kilwa. Kilwa's crazy good. Like one of the best wonders in the entire game. Usually you can take this one with just 2 votes on yourself, because the AI tends to only vote 1. And then this one you just choose whatever is the most common city-state type, which I guess is maybe religious. I've seen a couple of those. Yeah. 2 votes for me. I win. Thank you very much. Plus, people voted for culture. Okay. So let me quickly faith buy a settler while we can. Oh, there is also settleable land there. Kerma, you own that wood, so let me chop here. That'll shave a few turns off of the mausoleum. Let me move Magnus to Nuri, and then Pingala will go to Shat, because long-term Shat should be a really high pop city. Well, Nuri is almost equally as high pop, but Shat will be just as crazy, I feel. That'll be a short-term pain point on our yields, but it's fine. The Mayans are mad. Stay mad, losers. I lost suzerainty of Ayutthaya. That's fine. We will be able to maybe make a quest happen in the next era. The medieval era ends in 7 turns. We have more builders coming. I think I'll just crack out maybe 1 more builder. I'll build a trader in Sedinga. I could faith buy that. You know what? I may as well. Then we can get back to working on faith income. This faith income won't be quite as useful. I do like seeing all these cities flipping. The AI is not very good at dealing with the loyalty mechanic. That's the one criticism that I feel rings incredibly hard about the loyalty system, is that the AI is not very good at handling it. Maybe minus 20 was too strong. Maybe you should have capped it at minus 10, you know. I do think that they could have massaged the loyalty system into something that worked a little bit better. Sad to see that it doesn't exist in Civ 7, honestly, because I do think it served a really important purpose for preventing forward settling. Now, we do have to remember we're in a golden age, so we have like a loyalty bump here that's really helping us out that we won't have. We're going to trade with Moreau. 4 food, 3 production is absolutely poggers. Really strong Sim City here. In fact, if we check I think we have a city yield screen. I would love to see a breakdown of my food and production. Look at that. Look at all that production, man. Look at all that food. Yeah, nice. We lost suzerainty of Akkad. We have access to guilds. We also got a flood. We also got banking. Well, we could do some repairs on these. We got our Gurdwara in Napata. We could start doing some pre-builds on war stuff. Napata. We could do Ascend Aid to secure Diplo victory points. I should totally buy some luxuries. I should also buy a great work of writing if I can. Those are super worth it. That's +2 culture per turn. I kind of forgot that I'm supposed to do that. Nobody built the Colosseum or the pyramids this game. That is genuinely quite surprising. Imagine if I had Feed the World. Think of all the growth I'd have. That'd be so good. Ooh, grants a free trader, increases trade route capacity. Oh, that guy's actually really good. I kind of want Zhang He. Let me grab Zhang He real quick. I may as well run a couple of harbor shipping projects while we have nothing left to do, as getting a couple of admirals can actually make a really big difference in a sort of game where we're going to be doing at least some naval and air strategy stuff. In Sedanga, we may as well get our temple and Gurdwara up, because having a really strong faith economy can be translated into a variety of other directions. I think Amani would be good because we can park her into Ayutthaya, getting us potential control back. That extra 10% culture when building buildings is actually really good. It basically means that, you know, while we're building infrastructure, we're getting 10% of our production as culture. That's like super strong. Right, we begin trading with Moreau. Yeah, you're there to defend. Looking good. Settlers in position. This horseman is here to bust fog of war, so that we have better knowledge of the continent. You can just retreat back to the north. The medieval era ends in 4 turns, +1 era score. There's military tactics. We don't really have a lake, so we can't really use Huey Toakali. I got another builder in Moreau, but somehow we're 15 turns away from growing in the city. The city just really struggles for growth. I don't think there's a reason not to just keep building builders while we have the builder card plugged in. It's just such a high value proposition to build builders. Having build charges ready to pop when you need them, like right now, boom, there's the encampment. We're also going to use this opportunity to build another district. So let's see, we've got campus, commercial hub, theater square, industrial zone. Let's have a real think about this. We could go Venetian arsenal if we went industrial zone on the coast here, which does allow for double boat. So there's also a 1-tile Huey Toakali, which is hilarious to me. That would be good if we were going for some sort of theater square play. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to grab a stable here, because I like stables a lot more than I like barracks, even if I'm playing Nubia. Let's get a free trader. I'm actually going to put this one into the capital because Moreau needs more food income. I want to get it to 10 population a lot sooner. I'm kind of forced to sit here and build builders because I can't actually invest into any useful infrastructure, which makes me want to swap. I can't really swap in any more food tiles. This is all I can grab. I could take the horse, but that's not going to be a big difference. We even have amenity growth bonus. Yeah, getting to 10 pop is just hard, man. That's why I often say like 7 pop, that's all you need. 7 pop's easy. It's so easy to get a city to 7 population to build 3 districts, but getting to 7, or rather getting to 4 districts is so much more difficult. So much more difficult. The medieval era ends in 3 turns. Let's grab, I think, is Amani established? I can't tell. I think it'll take 3 turns for Amani to establish here. So we'll put a point into Samarkand so we get +4 gold from our shipyards when we build them, because we are researching that next. We're currently on Buttress, where then we're going to go mass production. Horseman, can you go explore down here to the southeast? 1, 2, 3. There is something to be said for buying both of these tiles for chops. I'm kind of sad that we don't get these olives. We may be able to get those olives later. I am going to settle this city. This will piss off the Inca, but like IDGAF. We got minus 5.4 loyalty here. Let me grab Victor and reassign him to Kawa, and then we'll move Magnus over to Tombos once we're done chopping. So let's cancel the stable. We're going to harvest the food, place the industrial zone, and then chop the industrial zone because we want to get that Venetian arsenal. In Kawa, we're going to use our gold to buy the monument and the granary. This is going to help accelerate the city's stuff. We're going to buy a builder who will go chop the sheep. We'll put a couple of turns into a builder here while we get stuff into position, but we don't actually want to build a builder. Not what we're trying to do. And so with this trade route, the best food we can get is +2. It's not bad, I guess. What about gold? We could get a crazy amount of gold. I think what we wanted was food in here. I reckon we just take whatever gives the most food in production, which is Nuri for now. Medieval era ends in 2 turns. We have a scout here. We already had a potato archer. We can send this one to Kawa though, which is handy. We'll build a mine right there. And we'll send this builder down to Tombos. We'll also move Magnus to Tombos. Do we want to move Pingala back to Nuri or Moreau? I think there's an argument for either Nuri or Moreau because of his extra culture per pop. Nuri has a lot more food than Moreau. Moreau has a lot more production. I think, what's the baseline? This is 5.5. This is 7. I think this just has higher baseline yields. So I think Moreau is a better location. So we'll move Pingala back to the capital. Yeah, Tombos, you're kind of in an awkward spot. Get that lighthouse. I don't know what your second or third districts are going to be. I just don't know if it's worth it to build a holy site in here. Most of our tiles are already improved, which kind of goes to show how small our empire is. It's a 6, 7, 8 city empire with almost like crazy little land. It's crazy to think that this is a small empire in Civ 6. But it's so satisfying, man. You know what? Civ 6 is just such a good game. Cardiff. Now, Cardiff, I believe, gives you electricity. It's not very good, but it's not bad either. The Category 4 Hurricane, we love to see that. We don't necessarily care about Monarchy, the Mont Saint Michel, the Kotokuku in. We do like to see the Builder. We're still waiting for this city to grow, so we'll just grab ourselves another builder. Because, like, again, we can always figure out what to do with these builders, like when we conquer stuff. Napata did another harbor shipping. That's going to help us get admirals, and admirals are really useful for their abilities. We don't want to go to monarchy, so we're not going to switch governments. So we're mostly just chilling. Let's make sure we buy this tile in Kawa. We're going to harvest the sheep to force pop growth in here. Tell the city to work food and production. That's going to be your priorities. We'll cancel the builder. We'll get to work on the holy site. This is a city that has a high adjacency holy site, so that is super worth it. We will want to get some production in and over here. We'll make it work. We'll get some builders over there. Probably should faith buy another builder before the age ends, but I forgot. Oh well. Okay, so Hagia Sophia and dams are unlocked. We're 5 turns away from mass production. We don't plan to spread our religion, so let's just grab Monumentality. It's just an easy way. I mean, I guess reform the coinage is like 6 era score. Monumentality is worth a few points. Monumentality has a lot of potential here. We did just finish the industrial zone, so we're 5 turns away from potential Venetian arsenal stuff here. We will quickly grab the stable because it gives production. Although, do I want the Gurdwara? It does give housing. We're already at our housing limit, so yeah. The workshop is worth 9 production. Sorry, the workshop takes 9 turns and is worth 3 production, whereas the stable takes 3 turns and is worth 1 production and some housing. So we'll take the housing. I'm not interested in fighting barbs. I'm mostly interested in revealing the map. I think it would be good if we had an extra settler to send over there. Oh, scout got killed. Oh well. Lighthouse in Shat, which means another trader. I think Shat already has a trader. So I think Kawa is a good candidate for a trader here. With the lighthouse in Shat, what district do we want to put adjacent to this harbor to get another +1 adjacency on it? We could go commercial hub if we wanted to go like giga money. We could build a dam. We could build a really strong industrial zone here. Like a dam right there. There's 2 dams available in this city. So a dam right there, industrial zone right there. But that would break up our farmlands like so much that we would get almost no benefit from those farmlands. I tell you what, we're just going to work on the watermill and the granary to continue growing the city. Let's chop right here. That'll halfway finish the holy site, and we'll put another mine down on that tile. Let's see what we can sell here. Nope. Nothing to purchase. Wait, double checking luxuries? No luxuries to purchase. Okay. So there's Mausoleum of Halicarnassus, which is going to give us +1 science, +1 faith. God, look at these Wonder Construction movies. These are so much better than the Civ 7 Wonder Construction movies. This just reminds me of that putting together, like, it's like a Lego time-lapse, dude. They fucking nailed it with these. God, that was so good. Gorgeous. Now look at those tiles. Oh, we're just missing a shipyard now. So we got the builder in Moreau. We have a couple of directions we could choose to go here. We could pick up an entertainment complex to try to pump up the happiness in our empire. It's not a terrible idea. This is worth 1 amenity, 2, 3 amenities. Plus, how far are we from zoos? Zoos are like right here. Could be a lot of zoo amenities. I'm trying to remember what the city overlap. Yeah, there's like 5 city overlap in here. It's not bad. That's worth 8. It's like 8 amenities. That's 2 extra luxuries if we were to build that. That's pretty damn good for an investment. Alternatively, since we do have Pingala in the city, we could go hardcore +6 campus and just go whole hog into pumping science to hit aircraft and late game boat techs a little bit sooner for the Georgia Revenge fantasy. Okay, let's have a look. So we could get Himeros, who's a medieval era great general. We are in a new age. Let me see, Great Admiral, boom. If we skipped Himeros, we could get Francis Drake. So I'll pass on Himeros, let someone else get him, and then we'll go for Francis Drake. Yeah, keep doing those harbor shipping. The mausoleum is done. This city doesn't have a very good holy site, so I do think that a campus feels like Pog. Kawa can trade with Moreau, which makes me very happy. That's a 4 food, 3 production trade route. It's really going to pump up this city's ability to build this holy site to get it up and running a little bit faster. I will send a missionary down there to convert that. I'll send a couple of builders over to Tombos as well, because there's some work we can do there. We got our stable in Nuri. We are 2 turns away from mass production. So I'm just going to faith purchase the Gurdwara, which will allow the city to continue to grow. I'll put some time into the workshop, as +3 production is pretty darn nice. Magnus is established here in Tombos now, so chopping does make sense. We'll get your trader out. We'll wait a turn before we chop again. We could chop out the Mont Saint Michel if we wanted to, but we're not doing any sort of religious reliquary stuff. Our goal is to crusade. And on that note, actually, Yerevan would be incredibly useful for crusade. So if we could start thinking about getting control of Yerevan, although it's 9 envoys, yeah, if we could start just hitting Georgia with missionaries, I think there's kind of an interesting thing here. I'm going to grab myself an apostle to start an inquisition though. The +10 combat strength from crusade is going to be really useful. At +1 era score, there's Reformed Church. We are going to go to Reformed Church. So we get extra combat strength in theological combat. We get +2 era score. It's beautiful. We do want retainers. I'm trying to remember. Some of these cards just aren't very good. Let's see. So Republican Legacy, that's an 8 amenity card. That's absolutely just a winner. I'm trying to think what other red card I want to plug in here. Oh yeah, Veterancy. Build our harbor buildings faster, of course. I would love to get diplomatic service because of the ability to get a spy. We could start rigging elections in Yerevan. It's one of the few times that I would consider doing that, because it would just give us a lot of flexibility and power in triggering crusade against Georgia. So let's launch an Inquisition. There we go, +1 era score. Plus, we're going to grab ourselves an Inquisitor. Antananarivo, holy shit, if I remember correctly, that one's crazy good. Dude, Antananarivo would be busted if this was 1% with a maximum of 15%. Okay, the fact that it's 2% up to 30 is bussin'. We're gonna have to try and get control of them. I'm gonna send this horseman up to the north to try and learn more about France. Okay, you completed your civilization's first campus with a starting bonus adjacency of 3 or higher. That means the capital one is done. We got the shipyard, Venetian arsenal. Oh man, it's all coming together. So now gold actually becomes pretty valuable for us, as we can use that gold to buy shipyards. Shipyards are crazy good. This also pumps up the value of harbor adjacency, so we may want to drop the serfdom card. This is why I'm glad I built so many builders. We can drop serfdom and plug in harbor adjacency. We are going to grab cartography because I would like to have a caravel. We got a campus in Moreau. Let's grab foreign ministry. Diplomatic favor is useful. Leveraging city-states costs half gold is useful. The intel agency is always good. The Grandmaster's Chapel, being able to buy land units with faith, does allow us to use our faith deeper into the game. Is that what I feel like this is either an intelligence agency or a Grandmaster's Chapel play. I'm going to go for Grandmaster's Chapel. In Sadainga, which has been converted, much to my chagrin, to get an Inquisitor over there. It would take a very long time to build this shipyard. It would be significantly sped up. Yeah, it would probably only take us 15 turns. I will get to work on the shipyard in there. We got a trader in Tombos. Let's trade with Moreau. 5 food, 3 production. We love to see that. We're going to grab ourselves a shipyard. 16 turns is a very reasonable amount of time for a shipyard. He sent a debater. Oh my god, it's internet YouTube sensation Asmongold. I don't know why. Listen, if you've been reading Twitter lately, you know why. Never calling that a website X. Just is never happening. I go triple Inquisitor against the Georgian goddamn guys. God. Shipyard in here, yes please. A lighthouse has been completed in El Kuru. That means it's trader time. The city does not have the production to really build a trader in a reasonable amount of time. We'll just buy the trader. Please God, let's grab a temple so we can get Inquisitors in here. I will probably gold purchase things. Okay. Convert Tombos, feed the Crusade. There's so much land up here these guys haven't used. Unironically, I think the AI would just be better if they built more cities. Okay, Granary and Shat. Let's go for shipyards. Yeah, 9-turn shipyard feels very good. Anything under 15 turns for a shipyard feels incredible. They converted this city. We can inquisite it. We can inquisition it. In El Kuru, let's trade with Moreau. That's 5 food, 3 production. It's beautiful. It spreads our religion. Ayutthaya has been converted. It's not the end of the world. Do not let them convert El Kuru because we need that +4 production from this. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I miss being able to give back builders to people because like I want to recapture this builder and then give it to someone. I don't want to have to just like sit on this guy. They're killing us. Okay, campus completed in Kerma. Let's go for the shipyard. Shipyard's priority. We should totally buy this tile. We can chop out that shipyard. Tell the city to focus on food and production. So crab tile is high value. This tile's high value. This tile's high value. This tile's high value. Then weirdly enough, I would actually like to work this one. No, actually these water tiles are better because of the extra growth. The city has so much housing headroom that growth makes a lot of sense. Let's quickly grab the granary in there. Oh my god. Can you soften him up? He's a little soft. We might be able to get that kill, which is a nice faith win for us. Every time you kill an enemy like Apostle or Inquisitor, you kill a significant portion of their... You destroy a certain amount of faith, right? That's what you do. You're annihilating enemy faith. All right, so there's cartography. We do have access to the caravel. Let me quickly... I'm just going to upgrade one caravel, 360 gold. Not cheap, but not too expensive either. Okay, this guy is not a debater. So I'm going to attack with the guy. Oh, I can't attack with the guy in the city first. No, I'll attack with you. I think I just messed up, actually. Whoops. Maybe I can do this. No, it's the wrong kind of Inquisitor. Son of a gun. I would like extra movement for embarked units. I think the big thing... We don't need Niter because we're basically trying to rush flight. So for rushing flight... then we need to think about stirrups, banking, astronomy. So we're going to go industrialization first because the extra production is nice. Ooh, ironclad. Free ironclad, more importantly, gets coal. Francis Drake is next. More like Francis Drake. Am I right, chat? We can explore with this guy, which is fantastic. Continue trading with Moreau. There's no reason to change these trade routes just yet. Feed the Crusade. Let's just chop here to finish the granary. So we have the harbor, we have the thing. Is there a wonder worth trying to go for here? No. I mean, St. Basil's, because it's fine. This is not enough tundra to really make it worth it. Could do a commercial hub if we wanted a lot of money. It's just not that good. We could... I mean, there's not very good campuses. There's not very good theater squares. There's not very good holy sites. Nothing here is particularly great. We could, if we wanted to like be unhinged, make a preserve, but that would be completely unhinged. We could make an entertainment complex. I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know about that one, guys. I could put a theater square here. We could build an encampment for the procurement of military units, which I guess makes sense to me. Oh, looks like we found the Signy? No, this is the Ubsoner Hollow. I always mix those up in my head. Just vaguely go back to my Empire builder that I captured from a barbarian. Okay, we have our encampment in here. We go for stable. Stable because cavalry and siege units are just better than infantry. There's no two ways about it. Caravel, go explore the ocean for me. You never know what we find out there. Somehow I think we made them run away. We convert back Sedinga, so now this... Oh, it didn't actually work. Hold on, let me try that again. There we go. Now it's only taking 8 turns. It's so much better. We definitely want to convert Kawa if we can. I'll send that missionary to do it. Our open borders with Pachacuter ran out. I've got a galley on the Long Explorer. This continent is weirdly shaped. We got a Grand Master's Chapel, so we can buy military units with faith, which is fantastic. We are going to grab our library and our university. The Nuri's workshop is completed. I think we would like the shipyard before we get the Venetian arsenal, but the second we have that, get to work on the Venetian arsenal, please. I would love to get a Moksha, mostly just because we have the one where governors give extra amenities. I'll park him in Kerma. Kerma sounds good. No, I keep using the wrong kind of Inquisitor here. I'm dumb. I keep using the stupid Eastern Orthodoxy Inquisitor because I'm forgetful. Hoisted by my own petard. This is a really nice campus. But do we need that many? How many? Honestly, we don't. Fuck, I accidentally just placed it by right-clicking too hard. Damn it! That's what you get! That's what you get for making mistakes! Alright, there's steam power. We have shipyards in Napata, which is beautiful. I don't care about St. Basil's Cathedral. Holy Site prayers? Harbor shipping. Okay, there's a kooky little island up here to the north. That's settleable. As far as I'm concerned, that's settleable. I love settling kooky little islands. For an extra turtle? Absolutely. Oh, it's my medication alarm. I need to go take more meds because I have a chest infection. You know what? That's probably a good time to call this the end of the episode. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all very much. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!